So the other main task in depression is unfinished business, and we use an empty chair process for that. And here the person is stuck in an old relationship which has ended because the person died, as in an unresolved grief, or because the other person has left, the relationship is broken up, and the client continues to dwell in this relationship. And they're still hooked into it. And often this unresolved relationship means the client cannot be open to new relationships. So they kind of close themselves down, still holding out for this other relationship. The person might have died 20 years ago, but something in the client or the person is still holding out for getting something resolved with the other person that they're grieving or mourning for or resenting in some way. And so the client comes in and they're blaming and complaining about the other person. If only my father had listened to, if only my mother had supported me, if only my old boss had seen how good I was, if only my ex-partner had been more understanding. And so the person is stuck or locked in these old bad feelings. But actually what's driving the unfinished business is one or more unmet needs. So the client needed something from this person. They needed validation, they needed support. There was some important need in their life that they needed from this other person, and they didn't get it. They didn't get it because the person died, the relationship ended, they got into a fight with each other, and drifted apart. And so there's still this unmet need. And the unmet need keeps the unfinished business alive. It's like part of the person is still looking for that need to be met, the need for support, love, protection, whatever it was. They're still looking for it, and they get stuck in this hanging on, refusing to let go of the unmet need. And basically in EFT, the way we help our clients with that is we help the clients to go through an emotional deepening process where they go from the secondary reactive blaming and complaining about the other to accessing more deep anger and sadness about what happened between them and the other person, sadness about what they missed, anger about how they were mistreated by the person, and we help them to fully express the anger and the sadness, and it's almost always anger and sadness. And we help them to access the core pain, the pain that's, what's the worst part about what happened with you and your ex-partner, or with you and your dad? What's the part that hurts the most? We help the client to access that. That's what's, they're not doing because they keep circling around in the more secondary emotions, and we help them to access that. And then we have them see whether it would ever be possible for that other person to meet that unmet need. And the answer is almost always no, because the other person's gone, they're dead. And yet the unmet need is important developmentally. And we then often go into a self-soothing process where we help the client to meet that needs themselves or to find other relationships. In other words, letting go of the unmet need from the person that it was originally connected with, and finding other people to meet it or to meet it ourselves through a self-soothing process. So that's the other key process in depression, which we find in the context of unresolved grief or broken relationships that people get stuck in.